Today is our fall Super Sack, which means the group that I meet with on a monthly basis have invited 10 other classmates, and we're here to have a discussion and get some input about school start times.
The superintendent gets our opinion on it so that he kind of just knows how we feel about it when he's making the big decisions.
Welcome on behalf of Intrust Bank Arena. We are super excited to have students here.
This was a great opportunity to work with our partners at Intrust, and they offered the venue, so we thought this would be a nice change of pace for our students. Another one of our partners today is Butler County Community College. This is the 6th year in a row that they're going to provide lunch for today's conversation. We're going to talk about school start times, what are some of the pros and cons, and since the change we made of adding 30 minutes to the school day and shortening the school year, we're 9 weeks into it, so we'd like to get their feedback on how they think that's gone and what are the positives and the things we need to think about in the future.
With the longer days but shorter number of days in the school year, that we saw that our lessons are being crammed together, allowing more homework after school because they couldn't fit it into the school day.
Well, personally, being in sports and other extracurricular activities, I get home a lot later and end up staying up a lot later doing homework, so I get a little bit less sleep. And I also have practice in the mornings for JROTC, so it really cuts down on my sleep.
I know a girl in our group had to quit a sport because the extra 30 minutes really affected how she did her homework schedule.
A positive is I'm definitely going to enjoy the full 2 weeks off for winter break. I think all of us are. That gives us more time to see family and actually enjoy our time. But with someone who's working in high school, it's not great getting home 30 minutes before I have to go to work.
So as we think about when our comprehensive high schools start, Northeast Magnet, of course, is an earlier start. Start time at 8 with an end time at 3:40. Magnet School, Northeast Magnet, 7 a.m. to 2:40. Most of our middle schools are the same as the high schools, and the elementaries are 9 a.m. to 4:40. So that's our current time frame. So as we think about the current time frame and then think about our next question, which will be, what are the pros and cons of our current time frame? What if we started high school at 9 a.m.? And that would mean the end of your day would be 4:40.
Although the sports would go later after school, but since it's 9 o'clock, we could make sports practice go before school. So more people would be up early and ready to practice. So instead of after school, we'd do it before. Although a con would be sports teams who decide to have after practices and just later and traffic.
When you think about your optimal brain function, Harvard and Oxford have done almost 10 years of research, and this is what they've come up with looking at brain functions of students. A 10-year-old should be waking up at about 6:30 in the morning, and their school time should be a start between 8:30 and 9 a.m. For a 16-year-old, wake-up time should be at 8, and start time should be sometime between 10 and 10:30. And for an 18-year-old, wake-up time should be 9 and a start time of 11 or 11:30. If you started school based on when your brain is the most efficient and you would get the most out of. Now, I don't know about you, but starting school at 11 o'clock would be a little difficult, wouldn't it? So there's in this discussion, there's always the what's best, what research tells us, what we should do, and then there's what real life brings into the mix.
I hope they take into consideration, they see how our schedule is being crammed together, see how stressed students are getting. I hope they see that adjustments need to be made for practices and rehearsals, things like that, so that way we don't get so crammed in the evening, still have time to actually eat dinner and see our family.
I think my teachers feel really rushed too in their classroom because they don't have as much time to cover the material. And I think it's kind of stressing them out and also stressing out the students.
Here's what will happen next. We will take all this information, we'll put it together. Your Super SAC representative here fairly quickly when we meet again, we'll go through this information, make some comments, and then they'll take that and it'll go back to our Board of Education.